You are not going to please everyone. And I think what the industry do is that they think because they have released mega records on their catalog, that they're the guru of music. By this point, Jack doesn't even know about this record. His management don't even know about this record yet. You know, there's a lot of press around how we've created the record, you know, that this all been manufactured, this guy's been manufactured, I've been called in to do the record with him, and it's just like a million and one stories and ways of how people feel like Sony's thrown millions at us, taken, wasn't even mastered record. I think it got mastered so late that everyone that had it and everyone that was playing it, even Seth Troxler was like after the record, because I was getting a little bit fed up, a bit, you know, how you get you spending so much time on a record and then no one wants it and this and that. And because I got my own label, Beat Culture Records, and it's nice for me to just like, you know what, sometimes I'm not gonna wait 8 weeks for a release. I'm not gonna do that. The older generation of DJs, I think they can't let go of that.
So welcome back to another Raving podcast, and today I've got Carnao Beats. Thanks for joining me, mate, and I appreciate your time, everything like that.
Nice one. Nice to have me, man.
So where I start with all my guests is where you're from, what was your life like growing up, and how did you bringing music into your life, like new influences, and like where did it all start from there?
Yeah, so grew up in South London. Got into music very early. Me and my mates used to go around each other's houses on turntables with like 2 records, spinning the same 2 records for hours and hours till we got beat matching sort of thing. We actually had an Aaliyah record and I think Warhead, a jungle track.
Oh, Warhead's classic. Was that by Pascal?
Eh?
Was that by Pascal? No, was that not by Pascal?
I'm not even sure. It just was just. I just always remember mixing that record into the same vocal that with Aaliyah in it, and then we moved over to then we had to obviously get a few more records. One wasn't enough with an a cappella, and then just started getting into garage. It was like 11, 12 at the time. Yeah. And then, it was at secondary. Then we went to same secondary school, ended up getting more records. Then finding ourselves getting a very early slot in the morning before school on Supreme FM, which was Brixton Hill. Done that show and then went straight to school. So it was like 12, 13 years old sort of thing. And then just my love for music from that point just grew and grew and grew, and then I started getting interested in making music, and you know, finding out, because I used to love Timbaland, I used to like Dre and stuff like that, but like understanding the beats behind the music sort of thing. Because obviously back in the day, like artists, the people on the microphone were the main topic, but I was always more interested in the beat. They could be saying whatever on the record. I just would not care if the beat was sick. It was always my go-to track. So, but it just grew from there, to be honest. Then started getting into production, early days. Just went mental.
It's exactly. I'm 35 now, and that's kind of like the same sort of me. Me and my mates, we were like had a room in this bus depot, this rundown bus depot, and we like put a padlock on it. We put like the egg trays around the wall.
Yeah, for soundproofing.
And, like drum and bass, and 4 of my mates were like MCs, and
that's it.
One of my mates actually did quite well actually, and then he stopped for I think he doesn't do it anymore, but. Yeah, all the MCs and that, they were doing like the MC, and we was there till like 3 in the morning, please turn up. Like, what the
I know,
fuck?
yeah, you had to leg it. Yeah. Yeah. The amount of times I've been in radio stations throughout the years and we've had to like quickly run out the back door because the
Yeah.
was it ADT? Was it ADT? Or
I got asbos for the noise
no,
and shit.
yeah,
Was it?
no, yeah.
Oh,
They used to take the aerials down from the for the radio stations.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
And they were,
Yeah.
yeah, ADT or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, yeah. It just reminded me as well because like me and mates did like say the same thing because there's nothing really much to do when we were younger. That's kind of what all we had to do really,
Yeah.
and it was yeah, it just brought back like mad memories. And again, like listening to the music as well, like you say, when me and my wife listen to music, she's like, "Do you not listen to the lyrics?" I'm like, "I don't know what lyrics are. I'm listening to the beat
Yeah.
more than anything, you know." Like
Yeah.
it's kind of
100%. I've always been like that. If the
yeah,
melody in a if the melody in a vocal is really good, I don't really care about what they're saying.
yeah,
Uh, and then people, like when obviously dive into listening to it properly, I'm like, oh my God, that's what you're talking about.
yeah,
But initially, I'm not really listening to anything like that. I'm just listening to the beat and the melody of a vocal. So it's just literally the sound that's what I'm listening to.
yeah. And how'd that go on from there then? So obviously you and your mates like obviously you get into music and you're exploring like all the genres and stuff like that. How did you get like into like production then? Like what software? Because I started off with Reason and I still use Reason to this day.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people do. I've used Reason before. I'm always been an FL guy. Um, always been on it. I just number one, I haven't had the time to learn I've gone too deep into production
Yeah. Too
for
much
me
time
to
invested.
now to come out and then learn another DAW for no reason. It's been working all this time. Hundreds of top producers use it. So I always, yes, I just got, I think I was about, I'm not even sure, I was probably about 17, 16 at the time. And I got a copy of a cracked FL Studio.
Story in there.
Yeah, and yeah, my mate had it on disc, and he transferred it over to me. But you had to obviously be careful using it.
Yeah.
You had to pull out all your projects straight away, sort of make it and pull it out.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, it's about 18 years old. My first ever record where I ever got into music is. Do you remember the group Damage?
Yeah, I do,
The
yeah.
R&B group. So
Yeah.
in 2002, I used to MC.
Nice.
So I was asked by Sweet Pea, who done the Lonyo Summer of Love record. He was doing the remix of Some What If I with Damage. And he was like, me and my pal, do we want to like jump on the record? And I was like, what? With Damage? Like, Damage, the Jade was at that time going with the Spice Girl. So they were just a huge name at that time. And I'm sure I was like 16, I think at that time. Maybe, yeah,
Really?
16 years old. Yeah, and it come out on HMV CD, people queuing up outside for the record. You couldn't download music. There's no such
Yeah.
thing. So it was a bit weird looking at a shop where there's a queue of people waiting to buy that record.
Especially at 16 though, innit?
I
Like,
know. I just didn't,
mad man.
and that was with EMI as well, which is now obviously owned by Sony,
Yeah, yeah.
which was owned by Universal, and now Sony has bought Universal. So I just didn't think of that it's quite a big deal. And then yeah, lived off that for a little while. Stayed in the garage scene with Creed and all them boys, you know what I mean? Went on Kiss with EZ.
No way. The
Yeah,
goat
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
used to do a
wicked.
few shows with EZ as well. Yeah, so I've been in music for a long, long time, and I've come from different angles as well. So from being an MC to production to you know, writing records as well. I've covered like most of it.
Yeah, a
And
wide spectrum of it, yeah.
yeah, I've covered quite a lot of it. And then in the funky era, funky house era, people was obviously churning out bangers via the funky.
Yeah, like the UK, was that like the UK funky sort of
UK
time?
funky, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
just never I liked some records, but I didn't like all of it. I just didn't think the
Mm.
production style was my style. And there was a lot of not good releases, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
started just like testing out certain sounds, you know, it's just, and there's certain, then because obviously the tempo of funky to how UK deep house was, it
Mhm.
was, it was massive difference. So I kind of slowed down the track and then started creating my own bass lines and being a bit more darker, if that
Yeah,
makes,
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
know, makes sense. Because I didn't see anyone doing anything like that at that
Yeah.
time. And I've always liked my beats raw to them being more refined, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then yeah, just started creating from that point, like different sounds and melodies with the bass line. Because I always try to do my melodies with the bass line. People use synths and other stuff, other percussion stuff, you know,
Yeah.
to create the movement. But I always think if you got big speakers, there's no point not using them, you know.
Yeah, yeah, send it,
So
yeah.
you got to use the bass line. So yeah, you just from that point, the creative side was coming out. That's because of my past
Yeah.
experiences in music, working in different environments as well.
That's why this is why I like doing this, because like I never knew that about you, like, and I don't, you know, some people might not know that about you, and like that's why I do this, because like you've already got history in like the music side of it, you know, like being an MC, like signing a record, like back in the day, man, watching the people line up at HMV, that's an old
Yeah,
school thing, yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's
and
proper good.
yeah,
Yeah,
man, and not many people like you say know that, and
a lot of people. Yeah, so it's
I
not.
think,
It's good to see the change of everything, but no one's ever had it that hard before. You know, where that
yeah,
you had to, when you're DJing, you've had to lug possibly 50 kg worth of records about, you know, and you got to give about £20 or 30 quid to another person to help you carry the records
yeah, yeah, yeah.
through the club. So these are the type of things that I'm happy enough to experience, but obviously at the time it was a bit,
It's like
you
part of the
know,
journey, isn't it?
yeah, where you're
Yeah.
thinking, I can't do this no more. Like I'm like 20 years old carrying 50 kg worth of records on my back, you know, and another geezer's got another 50 kg. But it's all part of the journey, you know. It's all about learning, and I'm happy, and obviously to have the opportunities in the past to experience that as well.
Yeah. That's wicked, mate. And I say, like fucking just like the whole story of like going back in the past. I'll say it again, because it has kind of like it's baffled me in the sense that like younger generation that is picking up on your music now wouldn't know that, and wouldn't maybe not even understand it. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the older listeners that listen to this, like, will be like, "Fuck me, man,
I remember.
that's an achievement." Like, you know, that's kind of blown me away a bit, because I was like, "Fuck," because it is true. Like even when I was younger, like, and I was making music on Reason 3 or 4,
Yeah,
and then you burn it onto a CD. You've got a bunch of CDs stacked in a bag. You're
giving them away.
just giving them away, and most of the time people just put them on the floor, and I was like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you spend a lot of money. Like now things are cheaper, you know, like
yeah,
to buy 100 discs back then was like stupid amount of money. And then, you're going out and you're just handing them out to people and then hoping that one person might go, you know what, I like that, you know, which will also happened, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's all part of the journey. It's all part of keeping up with what's happening at that time. You know, as much
Yeah.
as the old school lot of people don't want to, and they want to keep thinking of what we used to have and
Yeah,
how
like
it
the
used to
era.
be.
Yeah.
We can't live like that no more. You know,
Mhm.
we was DJing when there was no people that didn't even have mobile phones. You know, you had to go outside to make a phone call, go to the phone box if you needed, if you wanted to phone, you know, if you wanted to phone a cab, you had to go and
Yeah.
find a phone box, you know. So not that old actually, but uh, you kind of it was some cases were like that,
Yeah.
but it was yeah, it's just it's the older generation of DJs. I think they can't let go of that for some reason. And I think
Yeah.
it's very important to, if you want longevity in music, to be doing anything or pushing yourself. I think um, you got to find out what's happening now, sort of thing. What are the in things? I know trends are trends, but this is the way the game is now. You know,
Yeah.
it's either you pack up shop and you don't do it no more, or you love music enough so that you can look at these other avenues and go, you know what, I like what they've done over there. Even with like the TikTok stuff now as well, it's like records at the moment. If it ain't on TikTok, it's forgotten about. It's just a mental world. You know, you can create the best record, and if it's not a viral record, it's gone under the, you know,
It's a
it's
flop,
like,
innit? Yeah.
yeah. But you know, the people that are in music would love it, but the the industry are not going to make you rich. It's the public that are going to make you rich if you're in it for that reason.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So, and they're the one, and the public are the ones that are coming to pay their hard ass money to come and see you. So I think you do need to like make them happy as well, because they're the ones that are coming out. The producers and the DJs, they're all got in for free. They're
Mm.
not coming to pay your wage. You know what I mean? So it's important to make everyone happy at the same time in the scene, I think.
I think you put it really well because I had Graham Farmer on who runs data transmission. He said the same thing. Like he said similar thing. Like he said what the older generation kind of needs to do is like bring their sound, but adapt it to a more of a modern way to that trend or whatever it happens. So you still have your sound because that defines you and what you want to do.
Yeah,
And and you know, like, I think you put it like proper right. Like at the end of the day, like even being a DJ back in the day and even a producer, you're like a chef and the people are your customers. You know what I mean? You need
exactly.
to, you know,
Exactly that.
you know, you got to please the customer, right? And give them what
Exactly.
they want to hear. And
Exactly.
that's a good way of putting it, man. Yeah.
And I think, and I
Yeah.
think, I think with the industry and the DJs and the artists, the producers, they're trying to please a lot of the industry lot. They're trying to get a lot of the industry to turn around and say, yes, oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. But they're the people that are gonna just play your record. They're not adding to your career in, you know, if you're looking at this as a job,
Mm-hmm.
then gonna look for payment at some point. But the artists are there to help, like project your music and play your music to other crowds where you're not playing them. But it's the crowd that are the ones that are going to be paying you. They're the ones that are going to be helping you with your career. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So
that
you
kind of
have
falls into. Sorry, go on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
no. So you got to kind of like I said before, you have to tailor a lot of your music also to the crowd and not just the industry, because they're two different things. You know, I think you can refine something so good for the industry, but the crowd sometimes need the rawness. Sometimes they want to feel you. Something that's manufactured, people can hear that. People can hear manufactured music. But if they can hear it's come from you, I think your music is going to last a long time.
Yeah, man, 100% agree. Because it's kind of like, so I have one guy on called Rocker, and I've known him for years, man. He's like, I remixed a few of his tracks, and they got signed to Nervous, and Roger Sanchez signed us, played our music, and Steve Lawler, all the big names back in 2013, 14, and he was under the name with his mate called K&K, and
K, yeah,
yeah, and
ways, yeah.
and he went out on his own, and now, and we did a podcast together. And he said to me, "Do you know what, Brad? Like, he said, I've always made music for the industry and labels. I've never made it for myself." And he's like, "I'm always making it to fit that sound for that label." And he's like, "Now I just do it for me, like what I want to do." So 1 minute it'll be a garage track I've knocked out, or one it'll be a deep house or a tech house track. He's like, "I literally don't give a shit anymore, and I've gone under a new alias, like a new name." And he's like, and we know a few people like in the industry and that, and he sent it to someone, and then Fisher played it, and then this, that, and the other. And he said, "Do you know what?" I said, "I've got I've got further making music that I like making instead of adapting for other people, for the people like you said." And he said it's been noticed a lot more now, maybe because there's more social media than it was back then, but it's been played by big heavy hitters in the game. And
Yeah.
The way you say that is just like so true, and I think some people like forget that, and I think what you said is like
Yeah.
good.
The thing is, you can spend hours on records and try to refine it too much, but then you can make something that's not too refined, and that will be the bigger record,
Yeah.
But there's a reason to it. There's a reason to that, and I think it's important for all producers to kind of learn that and be aware of that as well, and not only just stay with, sorry, that door, babes. Stay with the in crowd, if
Yeah. Trying to fit in and that.
branch out a bit, like just do stuff that makes you happy, because I've done it before. I've made records and I'm just not happy with them. I've
Same.
released and I will never play them because they're not me at all. But the labels, oh, change this or change that. But then I might as well pass you my laptop and you do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who's making the record here? Do you just want my name attached to the record, or do you want to hear me? Do you want to hear what I'm producing? Because there's obviously a reason why you've got me to release with you. So just let me do my thing.
That's again, like when like nowadays, like for me, I used to fucking send so many to labels. I knew like people that I knew A&Rs in the labels, like I knew tour room and all that sort of thing, and I send stuff here and there. And now I'm just like, I'm just going to do a distributor and just release it myself. I'm not even going to bother with the labels now, because the amount of hassle, it may be different now, maybe a bit more like streamlined. They've got track app, whatever it's called, or Substack, whatever you can do. And
that what is it? Yeah, it was a track stacks,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do all that in demo submissions, but the amount they get is just thousands, right? Because and I'm just like, well, like you look at that Mochak or A-Craze, they self-distributed, and then it got picked up on TikTok, and now they're just fucking massive.
There we are, yeah.
So
it's again, that's also shifted. In 2012, 2013, you wouldn't be able to even release a snippet of your track to the outside world before a label has signed it.
Exactly,
because they will find it that you've put it out somewhere, and they'll just go, yeah, but it's not exclusive anymore. Now it's the other way around, where they they want something that's already got enough traction to it. So therefore they will want to take that record and go ahead and sign the record, you know. And you used to be able to have, you know, some sort of campaign where you'd send it here and then you'd move it to there, and you get a PR company and you get this, and you got a 6 weeks to 8 weeks campaign going for one record. People don't have the attention span for that no more.
No, it's 15 seconds, isn't it now? And
it's just, they can't think of a record that is made today and it's coming out in 8 weeks time. They've gone past them days now. They want it now. So it's you gotta kind of like even for you, like get a distributor, put the record on there, get them to distribute it, make it available everywhere. Don't put it out. It's out, but then you can start promoting it, and then people are already listening to it now. They're like, you know, they can jump straight on the record.
Yeah.
I think it's so far from how it used to be.
Yeah, because
again, we need to keep up with the times.
Yeah, that's refreshing for you to say that, because I remember back in the day I used to send music to someone, to labels, and they'd be like, "You haven't played it anywhere else, have you?" And I'm like,
"Yeah."
"Nah." They're like, "Okay, no one's there's no preview or nothing." I'm like, "Nah." They're like, "Oh, thank God, okay, because we want to be the first to play it." And
there you go. Yeah,
yeah.
There you go. It's like yeah. It's just. I think the pace of people making music now and putting it out, and how easy it's become to make tracks with all these apps and Splice, and you know, where a race was 100 people before, you're looking at 100,000 people.
Oh no, man. Yeah.
You know, so you you're always keeping up with what are people putting out. If you know, one producer can be putting out 10 records a week.
Crazy.
If he wanted to, because I got my own label, Beat Culture Records, and it's nice for me to just say, you know what, sometimes I'm not gonna wait 8 weeks for a release. I'm not gonna do that. You know, if it goes to the right label and they want to take the record, then yeah, fine, you can have it. But I'm not sitting on 30 records for me to see which one wants the records. You know, I can just put it on my own label and put it out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so much more accessible now.
Yeah,
and that kind of goes on to my. I want to go just back a little bit if you don't mind.
yeah, of course.
Like, obviously, you know, I've mentioned I liked all your tracks on the Audio Rehab and stuff like that. Like, how did you approach them labels? I know obviously it was demo submissions, but like,
So,
you know, what was the process back then like for them?
yeah, so I think I used to. Do you remember Mixlr?
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be like you used to log in with your laptop. I mean, with your DJ setup from home, sort of thing, and then just stream live. So as I was streaming live one Sunday, I used to do every Sunday for it was about a couple months, I'd say. And then I used to literally just play my own records. I weren't playing no one else's. I had about 30 demos that I would just play throughout my set every Sunday. And then a lady called Caroline, she was locked in, but she was also looking after Mark at the time, and from Audio Rehab. And then she was just like, your stuff's crazy good, you know. And then she kind of linked us together and said to Mark, check this guy out, sort of thing. And Mark obviously at that time was like massive in London. So yeah, he just said, yeah, you know, send over some tracks, and then House got to like taken. But rewinding back from that, I was kind of like just sending out tracks to like anyone, but it weren't getting to the right people.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was getting a little bit fed up, sort of thing, you know. I was getting a little bit fed up, a bit, you know, how you spending so much time on a record and then no one wants it and this and that, and then I made House, and then got that played a few times from local DJs at like these crazy parties. Then people started filming this record. They're like, who the hell has made this track? So obviously it's on Facebook, it's going mad, and Mark's obviously heard it and is like, this is the same guy that Caroline's talking to me about. So then we got in contact, and yeah, we just I sent it over to him. It weren't the actual track that got taken, wasn't even mastered. Wasn't even a mastered record. I think it got mastered so late that everyone that had it and everyone that was playing it, even Seth Troxler was like after the record, because do you remember when they put the track towards the Grandad Shuffle dance?
Yeah.
Lad Bite put it up, and then that was like one of the first sort of deep house, if you want to call it deep house, like records to kind of go viral in that sort of way. And so it started circling, but that actual track that is on there isn't actually mastered. It's never been mastered.
No, do you know what? I this brings back memories, because I used to play at Source Bar in Maidstone, and another one in the Medway towns called Mojo. And when I used to play Know My Name, it used to peak up really loud when there was no bass. And then when the bass dropped in, it does. I'll never forget it, because I was like, hey, this is a banger, and I was playing it, and everyone was like, everyone has the face, and they're like, fucking, this track is like proper naughty, and it'd be like, and it'd go really quiet, like
yeah, that was
yeah.
I think that was a mega turning point at what I was doing at that point, because I made that, I think, in about 45 minutes.
That's crazy, because Jamie Jones said the same thing about what's it called? What track is it? He made Hungry for the Power. He said I made that in like 35 minutes.
Yeah. Sometimes with tracks, you just latch onto it, and then you just move on to the next stage, and then next minute you got a track, your 4 minutes or 5 minutes is up.
Yeah.
I think that is sometimes where your heart needs to just sit there and just say, you know what, I'm not doing nothing else to this. This is going out. This is the only thing that's going out now. And then obviously Martin liked that record, Martin Ikin.
Oh, yeah.
And then he started playing out, and I think he was playing before AmineEdge DANCE.
Yeah, because they did a remix of it, right?
Yeah, so then Martin messaged me as like, mate, they're after this record. And I'm like, what? Like, these two are like, they're huge right now, So, and they was like touring all like, because they're like French, aren't they? So,
yeah.
So there was touring the whole of Europe. Their sound was obviously going over to like South America, all the South Americans, and they started loving all that bassline stuff. And then Dance messaged me. It was just like, can we do an edit of it? We don't want to change too much to the record, but we just want to add some sort of snares and and build up before it drops. So I was like, you know what, you two are you two. So as long as we can get an official release out of it, I said, if we can get it out, of course, do your thing, yeah? They were like, yeah, we're happy to do that. So, then Dance done his thing to it. And then it just, from that point, that track was just like everywhere. And I was getting messages from everyone saying like, what the hell is this sound? Like, it's not even deep house. It's not even house. It's not even bass line. It's mangled music, that used to just, when it used to come on, people used to just go mental, screaming sometimes.
One of my good mates, Jerome, back in the day, we used to run nights together, and he was behind the deck setting up. He's like, bruv, listen to this track I've just found. I was like, I was like, okay. And he showed me, it was on like the CDJ 900 or something.
Oh my God.
We had it at the time. Yeah. And it was just like, it was like playing it like before the night started. And it was like, fucking hell. He's like, yeah, man, I'm just going to absolutely cane this song. So I was like, yeah, and that's like, yeah. So when was like your first DJ gig then? Like how did you get your first set? Like, how did you approach it? Did people approach you? Like,
Oh
where was
god,
it?
yeah. So I think from that point, I think Caroline started taking over my bookings. So the girl that obviously found me on MixLR was the agent for Mark. So she was like, "Look, do you wanna jump on board?" sort of thing. Um, Officially as Carnao Beats from making music, I would say it was Caroline that moved it forward from that point. But
Yeah.
I did gigs before, like off the back of like someone saying, "Oh, he can DJ." But I didn't really used to. I didn't never went under a name. I just DJ'd at a party or whatever,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think might have been House Foundation, which was, I think it was in Cambridge. I think it was in Cambridge, and
Okay.
there was a small party there, and it was supposed to be really popular, and she was like, "Yeah, I've got you a show down there." That was her first as Carnao Beats, with music out as Carnao Beats. That was my first ever show.
How was that
It
experience?
was weird because I turned up in a jumper, thinking it was a cardigan, shall I say, a t-shirt and a cardigan. I was like, I'm not
Old
sure I'm
school.
supposed to be dressed like this. And
Yeah.
I've gone down there, and there's about 200 people cramped in a basement party, like, proper old school, sweating off there's sweat on the ceiling, on the wall, proper,
Yeah.
and the speakers are about 9 foot tall. And I'm like, these lot are really having it. Like, so yeah, I probably lost a couple of stone that night. But yeah, then I learned not to wear a cardigan again.
That takes me back as well, because I got a couple of guys I grew up with on my council estate, and they invested a lot of money into like big rig setups. They got like the
Oh yeah,
bins and the
yeah.
tops, and they built them up, and they would like hire them out. And my buddy Vince and Garth, and they would go to like um, France and Belgium and do like battle of the rigs and stuff with all the big speakers. And I remember some guy come up to me and was like, "Hey, we do like the DJ a party for me." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you bring the speakers?" I was like, "I can do, yeah." And then I rang him up, and he only charged me 200 quid back then.
Well,
And he's like, he brought them in this room, and it was like two bass bins, like, and then they're all topped up to the ceiling. And he walked in, he was like, "I think it's gonna be too loud." And then my mate Vince was like, he was like, "Bro, I can't have it too low. It has to be
so when
a certain, otherwise it start
yeah,
popping,
yeah,
and
yeah.
because there's not much power getting to them." And he turned it up to where he could or whatever. I mean, I'm not a sound engineer. Neither was he. He just built it up over
Yeah.
time. And it was just like so fucking loud. But it was
No.
pumping. But that took me back then when you said like,
They're the
yeah,
best parties like that,
yeah,
best parties. But yeah, it's from that point it just went. I think within a week, at that point it was just bonkers. Like, the shows were just coming in thick and fast, like everywhere. Every corner of the UK I was put in. Um, yeah, shows in Ibiza, like probably
wow,
I would say one of the first underground sort of y- London house, if you want to call it that, um,
yeah,
to get out and do shows in Ibiza, sort of thing, with like
yeah,
without using UK um promoters. Without using UK promoters, I was the
mm,
first sort of ones to go out there and experience it, because I'm taking my sound into Europe.
yeah. Oh, that's
So
wild.
I'm like, because, you know, Euro house is very different to us lot, what we're doing.
Yeah, like UK, yeah, London, yeah.
And yeah, just mental. They loved it. Everyone loved it. But yeah, it was a good experience in that way as well. But
That's crazy. And then it kind of goes on to like, you know, we was talking about trends and keeping up with things and stuff like that. And I actually was talking to Graham Farmer, like messaging him at the time, and he was like, he was like, like, he's done it proper. And I was like, with the I Be for Final Boss thing, and he's like, he's chucked it out like so quick. And I was like, because I saw you upload it, and I was like, fuck me, he's done that like in a day, like Jesus.
that was a bit crazy. A bit crazy.
Yeah, man.
I think
Yeah,
you know was it was I think I heard it on the weekend that this guy was like, you know, he was just going about, and then the clip was just escalating a bit more, and then because it was only him dancing at that time that was going viral, and then he spoke. Then he said that word, you know, that someone's like gave him the mic or whatever, or said introduce yourself, and he's like, I'll be for Final Boss, Jack K, get to know or whatever. And I'm like, that's quite sick. Let me just try something. so,
yeah,
so I've got the app up, ripped it, sampled it. I think I chucked it on my on FL, made the beat fresh as well, and it was like within the hour it was completed. It took another 20 minutes, 30 minutes to refine certain bits here and there, you know, put reverb here. Look, it weren't supposed to be a serious record. Like I wasn't sitting there in the studio and I was thinking, you know what, I'm gonna actually make a proper record out of this. I'm gonna put all the bells in there and this and that and refine everything, and you know, it's supposed to be a fun record. And then I just thought, you know what, let me just chuck it on Instagram. So I chuck it on Instagram in the morning, like mid-afternoon, I'd say. No, it was about 12 o'clock, midday. And then within, I think, of about an hour, it had 100,000 views in about half an hour. Like, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So then I get a message and it says, by this point, Jack doesn't even know about this record. His management don't even know about this record yet. It's just me circling this track through my Instagram. And then I get a message and it says, do you want to fast forward this to Sony? And let's just get straight to the point. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, well, give us a couple of hours and we'll get the nod.
Was that his management that reached out to you for
that? Majestic.
Oh, Majestic.
So Majestic messaged me. He was like, mate, this is an absolute banger. He was like, I don't know how you did this in that small amount of time, but
he's crazy, man. Fucking,
he's like, I can see this getting taken by Sony. Give me an hour, he said. He calls me back and he's like, they want it. Relentless want it. Sony's backing it. So I'm like, what? Are you for real? He's like, yeah. He said it's not even like, he said the tune's a tune, like the beat's the beat as well. Like you've done everything. Yeah. And I'm like, but you know, I wanna try refine it. I wanna try do stuff to it. And he's like, look, just keep it as it is. Like it's popped off like this. Let's just keep it like that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, cool. If you think it's a banger, then yeah, let's just run with it. And then he just was like, yeah, just send me all the parts. And then we were trying to get it took us about 4 or 5 days to get in contact with Jack from that point.
Okay.
To say that you've actually got a track signed. like
with you on it.
with you on it. You know, he doesn't even know that he at that point. So yeah, and then it just escalated into some viral thing. Like, yeah, I just can't believe it, to be honest.
I've got a question for you. Back in the start of this podcast, you said like obviously you got signed by Sony and stuff back in your 16th back then. How was it years later down the line walking back in that room? If it's the same building, may not be, I don't know, but walking back,
Different one, different
different
building.
one, but
The thing
same
is, we
people.
did, yeah, when we did it back in the day, we did it just by postal way. We didn't actually go up there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
my mate never went up there. The deal was just done via Sweet Pea, which was the guy that done Summer of Love.
Yeah.
And we were just like features on the record.
Oh, okay.
So going into it this time, actually, you know, going into Sony building it was a bit mad. It was
Like eerie, not eerie, sorry, it's a bit like, is it overwhelming, would you say? Or is it a bit like imposter syndrome kind of thing? Or yeah, how would you explain that?
It's just how it all happened, to be honest. You know,
Yeah.
like from a bit of moment of madness with music that I made in an hour has got me to step foot in a Sony building, you know. When I went there, and that's all I could think. I was just think I'm here because of the record that I built and then just put together, like, and it's got Jack on it, and people were loving it. Like,
Yeah.
I just can't, you know, in that sort of way, it was a bit mad. It definitely was a bit mad because it's like superstars are going into that building.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see any superstars in it? Like any?
No. It
Huh?
was dead quiet. We went on a Friday, so everyone's working from home and they've probably done all their meetings throughout the week.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think they kind of did do it for the Friday because they knew that it might be a bit mad him turning up because there was already paparazzi outside.
Wow, that's crazy, man. I've never experienced that, but the fact, like, you know, I mean, again, like you say, to be honest, yeah, it kind of inspired me a lot, to be fair, because back in like when I was DJing, the ticket sales and everything for me kind of put me off music, and that was kind of why I stopped making music. I was not getting paid, trying to buy tickets to get a decent sort of time, this, that, and the other, and my wife was like, "You need to get back into it, Brad. You make good stuff, blah, blah. You know, you need to do it." And when I saw you do it and just, you know, make it, and then hearing you now like, explain that story, I kind of said to myself, like, and I'm saying this because a lot of people I speak to and producers I see online talk about this, is we overthink the music too much. And like you were saying earlier, I already had it done in like fucking half hour, 45
Yeah.
minutes. And I just sent it out. And then, like you say, you wanted to change bits of it because that's what we all do as producers.
Yeah.
And Majestic was like, just leave it, man. It's good. And then, and me, I'm like, do you know what? And I put this up on my Instagram. I've been fighting so much fucking bullshit in my head to be like, oh, this ain't good. People ain't gonna be happy. People are gonna laugh at you. And I'm like, know what? I'm just gonna send it out. And that's what I'm gonna start doing now. And one thing, I thank you for that. I'm not kissing your shoes here about this, but like, it's also good to see someone that with the success that you've had, think like that as well. Because other people will be like, oh, okay, I'm always thinking about this. And I'm sitting on like 100 tracks in my sound bank.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no,
Just out there.
Yeah.
Just get it out there. If it feels good, if the thing is, like, you're in your position for a reason, you know, you got people listening to you for a reason, like, and not everyone gets every track. Some tracks that I've made and I'm like, that's absolutely awful. But then half the crowd want to hear that track. And I'm like, I don't want to play that track, you know? And they're like, no, that's what we want to, that's what we come to hear. Are you going to play that today? If I turn up like an hour before, I'm like, I haven't even got that track with me. Every track is tailored to a different type of people, like different type of ears. Like you're not going to please everyone. You are not going to please everyone. And I think what the industry do is that they think because they have released mega records on their catalog, that they're the guru of music. It doesn't work like that. I think sometimes you just got to explore a lot more, and labels also have to try to explore a lot more. And like how Sony have as well, they probably never thought of Abi Fofana Boss, releasing a record with them. And why would they? They've never heard of him musically, But I also understand that there are people out there that have worked really hard and then they've never had the look in, But I made the record. Do you know what I mean? Like, I made the record. I've put thousands and thousands of pounds into production, mastering, getting myself out there. Okay, if he don't deserve it, then can you not just give me a little bit of prop? You know what I mean? Like, can you not congratulate someone that you might pass in the street, someone that you might play with at a club? Like, it's not that hard to do something like that, And I don't want future producers to get discouraged by trying something new, outrageous, because we have to start moving with the times. And this could be something that could be a new thing, We don't know. It could be a new thing. Like, as soon as another viral H.O.U.S E, imagine, if our scene took something from that H.O.U.S E girl, it's the same sort of thing. It's just, we have to keep our ears open, and something can happen at any time. You just got to be on the buttons quick enough to do it. And I think we're in a time right now where speed is the actual goal, and that is the actual ingredients right now, is your ears and your speed to get things out there.
And it's proper refreshing you say that, because again, like, a lot of people, they get so built up trying, like, I need to release this, I need to release this, and I need to be up to this. But then, like you say, you just gotta put it out, and just that's that sound at that time is what your sound at that time is. And
I just made the track. I put his vocal over the top of it, and I just put it on Instagram. I never asked anyone to sign it. I just put it up, check this out, sort of thing. I didn't say anyone wants to sign this record. It's up for grabs. It was literally just a post with him dancing with it. And then Sony come and take the record. So
how was it first meeting him? Like, when you
cool guy. Really, really cool guy. Yeah. You can tell he really wants to be in music. He's very new to it in the industry side, obviously. But we was like, me and Majestic was like, we'll be here to guide you when, if you need any questions answered. But he's a real cool guy.
Yeah. Because a lot of people can exploit that, can't they, at that point, and then start, it's good that he's got people like yourselves and Majestic, like, saying, like, where we can guide you.
Yeah.
And that's like the refreshing part about the music industry as well,
definitely. Right? And he was just, he's just saying, I never asked to be famous. Someone took a video of me and now I'm here. He never asked to do a record. He's in Sony building because his track got signed to Sony.
Yeah.
You know, he never asked for all of this stuff. It's fallen in his lap. But some people will be mad. Some people will be, you know, happy that he's got all this. But everything was done. You know, there's a lot of press around how we've created the record. You know, that this all been manufactured. This guy's been manufactured. I've been called in to do the record with him, and it's just like a million and one stories and ways of how people feel like Sony's thrown millions at us. You know, it's this, if you haven't got thick skin, this industry is not for you. If you get rattled at any point and you can't just sit there and congratulate someone, then the industry ain't for you. You know, what it should be doing is people should just understand that the industry can change at any time, and you have to be keeping up with it. You can't sit there and moan about, oh, you know, everyone has their opportunities. Everyone has their opportunity. So you can't sit there and moan about, because he's on the record, it's got signed to how is the industry now, and look where it's the status in, and blah, blah, blah. No, because there's plenty records out there from top artists that's got big vocalists on it, and the music's crap, in my opinion, you know, but there's 100,000 people that like it. Doesn't mean that the track is completely crap. It's just not for me, you know. But I hope it does inspire people and other producers to look elsewhere how to make it in the industry and get big deals. So yeah, that's
yeah, man. And that's why I cover loads of the wide spectrum of electronic music. I've had, you know, mix and master engineers, promoters, everything like that, and obviously a lot of producers listen, and you know, there is, like you say, there is a lot of moaning and people going, oh, this because of that, and it's like, it's not you're like I said with my mate Rocker back in the you know, he making music for what he enjoys for him.
yeah,
He's just enjoying the process. There's no rush. He's like, I'm just, because that's if you got a studio. He goes, no, I just sit on the sofa while the wife watches Coronation Street.
Yeah.
And I with headphones.
exactly,
He said, I just make, you know,
exactly.
just stuff that I like. And he says, I'm further that way than trying to strategically like have a fucking, you know, like a marker board and write down a brainstorm plan and shit.
Yeah,
You know, he says, I'm just, you know, and when I did a festival over here, actually, with the podcast, I met a guy. He was from Edmonton in Calgary, and he's like from this little small town. And I saw him in the lineup, and I was like, "How you doing, man?" He's like, "Oh, you did a Rave Room thing, right?" Podcast. I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, I'm the first ever guy, international guy to sign to Goldie's label, Metalheads." And just out of the blue, I was like, "No fucking way." He's like, "Yeah, man." He said, I'm the first like international artist he signed." I'm like,
Well,
"That's crazy." From a small town, like, you know, and like you say, like, people in the industry think you're throwing millions of dollars at these people to make them what they are, and they're a product of
yeah,
the scene. But you know, like, just hearing those stories, and like you say, like, you know, this is just a guy from a small town
yeah,
in the middle of Canada that's signed to like one of the biggest, most notable, like, you know, labels
that's it. Here you
in
go.
drum and bass, you know, and
It can happen to anyone. Can happen
yeah,
to anyone. I've put many hours, many years into music, and haven't, you know, me and Roger Sanchez had done Make Me Wonder as a single, and we thought that, you know, I was sort of like very popular in the UK at that time. He's obviously who he is, so we've gone studio, and I have to till this day think it's an amazing record, but it didn't do what I thought it would do. You know, the vocalist Gifty that we use, she is one of the most amazing singers she killed it. You know, she smashed that record to bits, and the record just didn't, didn't hit where we wanted it to hit. It done well, not in, it done well, but it just needs moments. You need moments in music where, and the right, and obviously the timing needs to be spot on, as well. But it shouldn't stop. It shouldn't stop anyone doing it.
Yeah. And that kind of goes on to my next one then, of like the remix for MK Christian Dior, because I obviously, as I got on to you had me listening to it, I was like, oh shit, he's caught me in the act. But I was like, this is like, because I was watching MK on a video, and obviously back in the day, like you say, actually, funny enough, is what's it? One of his tracks, I can't remember what it was now, Burning. Apparently made that in '98. In the 90s, and he got big like during the the London like deep house era, and I saw a video of him. He's like, I'm bringing deep house back. I'm like, do you know what? That was my time I was making music, because like you said, Roger Sanchez, I sent him my track and he played it in a bunch of his mixes, and I thought, this is it, man. This is going to be big guy playing it. That's a big achievement for me. And then it didn't go massive. But that was a big achievement for me. That was a good goal for me. I wasn't, I was humble about that. And, and when he said, I'm bringing back deep house, I was like, oh, this is, like you say, time and opportunity. I was like, this is a time to start making music now. And then when I heard your Christian Dior remix, I was like, this is taking me back to that sound time. Exactly what he wanted.
With the knock.
Yeah. And I was like,
obviously, MK's, we've crossed paths throughout the years, like from 2013, 14. He supported my Gone in the Morning track that I did with Donato. He played that.
I'd love to put Donato on.
Yeah, he played that one quite often. And then I think through COVID, I asked him for the parts of Burning, and then he was like, oh, I haven't got the parts anymore, sort of thing. So I was like, look, let me try work some magic. And I did my mix of Burning, and he was just like, he messaged me back. He was like, oh my God, like, I'm so glad that you done this. This is sick, sort of thing. So the mix, did you see his interview with Mr. Jam on Capitol?
Yeah, I watched that, because
they were talking about the Burning record.
Yeah.
So that the Burning record that's playing in the background is my edit. I
haven't heard it, but I have to go and listen to it.
Put it up. I've asked for his permission to put it up on SoundCloud. So it's up on SoundCloud when you want to.
Okay,
but it's been quite well. A lot of people are playing it. So yeah, I love that record. It's always been fresh. Don't matter what year you need to play music.
Timeless.
Music in, it's always fresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, then obviously Dior come, and I just went and put fire emojis throughout one of his stories. Next messages come, the stems. MK drops me the stems. I'm like, oh my God, are you for real?
In Instagram messages or like
Instagram, yeah. So
wow,
I'm like, what is that? It's like, do your thing, sort of thing. So yeah, obviously I done my thing, dropped it to him, and he was like, look, just hold off on it, don't play it nowhere, sort of thing. Let's get it out, sort of thing. So yeah. And then they wanted to release it last month, but obviously the Final Boss stuff's sort of collided with everything.
Yeah, that's just music industry.
And I didn't want everything to be like so jumbled up. But I was like, look, okay, let's do yesterday, 12th of September. So it's out.
That's wicked, man. Because I tried downloading them, and then I went on his Instagram. He said, oh, they're not available in the US and North America. I couldn't download them. So I was messaging people in the UK, like, you download them and send to me, like, WeTransfer or whatever. They're like, I'm trying. I don't know. I was asking my brother. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing." I'm like, "Fuck."
I'm getting loads of messages about it, loads. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'll sort you out. Don't worry.
I might try and do something. Yeah, because I, I'm actually spending money now on plugins now, and I never bought any plugins over the years. I've just used in-house ones. I've used actually that's a lie. I've used Korg, Monopoly, and Polysynth. Um, but I'm starting to buy like all these like isotopes and things like that now
Yeah,
because I've just all done it by my ears and what's
yeah.
on here, right? But now you got all this AI shit. I'm like,
No, no.
no, this is
I
way more like
just
pressure.
stick to things that I know. That's all.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. And what advice would you give for anyone that's trying to get in the music industry right now? Because obviously you've done it from, if I mean, I've really enjoyed this podcast from like the early times of like MC and then starting to get the music industry back then, giving out your music and records, carrying them around to like through the years. Like, what are the best sort of advice you would give and lessons that you've learned to give to people?
My advice is don't follow the crowd. You can't listen to another person and then want to create. You can have inspiration, but try and make music your own. Don't don't have the exact same bass line that guy's used, or because that label is churning out bass lines, releases with those bass lines, then you have to come and now do it, because we're in 10 years time, who's going to speak about you? No one, because your music is exactly like the other person's. So try to create stuff that is your own, and then you can, because what I've just found is that people know when they've heard a Carnao Beats track, they kind of know that that's my sound. And I've even with the Dior track, it's like I'm bringing back something with what I'm known for. But don't be discouraged in trying other sounds, but try to make something your own. You know what I mean? Just don't be scared with the industry, because it can be scary for some people. But try to please the crowd. Try to please the people that are going to buy your tracks, not only the people that are going to play them, because they're two different people. Just have a laugh with music, enjoy it, have fun, and don't be scared. Don't be scared.
And what I always ask this question as well, people, is who has been the most influential person in your life that's made the biggest impact in your life?
In music,
In music and just in life in general, yeah.
obviously, my dad's obviously a big inspiration. Definitely a big inspiration for myself. And musically, I would say someone like Roger Sanchez and the way he's conducted his business. We've had many meals together, like restaurant sit downs, birthdays, celebrations. I went to his wedding and stuff like that. So he's taught me quite a lot about the industry and what to go to and what not to go to. But he's always said to me is like, don't never change your sound. We are friends because we are friends, but I mean, I was gravitated to your sound because you was different. And yeah, but I'd just say Roger is a good industry friend and a friend, I'd say.
Nice, man, nice. Is it what's the future plans for yourself? Obviously, I know the Jack K things obviously we've done really well. The Dior things kicking off as well. What are your future plans? Any DJ gigs? Any more sort of stuff in the pipeline you can reveal? Like what you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there'll be, obviously I'm gonna focus mostly music related this year. Shows, I can think about shows, building them up and stuff like that, doing the right things as well. I've done many shows before, but music, I was missing out on doing the music. So if you're doing the shows, you can't do you can't do tracks. But I need to get a few more singles out there, and I need to like sort out my label and put more stuff out on my own label, B Culture Records. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it day by day, you know.
Man, yeah.
When a day feels right, you can turn on your laptop, and then if it's the wrong day, and you just not gonna make nothing. So it's take it day by day. If I can make 10 bangers in a day, I'll do it, and I put them out. It's nice to have your own label like yourself. You have your own label. No,
No, I
you're thinking
don't.
about
I went so you might be able to tell me about this actually. This might be
it.
good information for other people. So I was looking online. I used a bit of AI to ask questions as you do now instead of Google. I was like, do I use like DistroKid or like the only one I know back in the day is Labelworks, because that's what I used to use back in the day, because they do distribution now. So like DistroKid, Landa, they offer like mastering services, and
Yeah.
you know, and this and the other. So I was looking into that, and it's like you pay I don't know, £24 or 20 quid a month, a year, sorry, and all your music gets on TikTok, Instagram, things like that. And I was like, but it ain't gonna be on Beatport, because Beatport back in the day when I was doing stuff in Beatport, you needed to have like they wanted to see a release schedule of like what you got planned for 6 months. Are you the real deal?
Of course.
So yeah, so now
I send you some links then.
Okay, yeah,
I've got some good people at Believe Digital.
okay,
So yeah, they do a lot of artists. They moved. I think they've moved over to America. Got another office over there as well, so they can help you. But yeah,
yeah.
Craig is a good fella out there over there. So I'll send you his details.
Oh, it's really nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's proper nice, yeah. And you know, because you know, I want to brush up with this, you know, on this episode. But one thing I'd like to say is like, thank you ever so much for like sharing your story and that, and then giving me your time. It's actually good. Like, made me feel like I kick up the ass to get myself going, because my wife's like, you need to do like release music. It's good, blah blah blah. I like it, but she's probably biased because she's my other half. But you know, I'm like, I don't know, because I've been, you know, and I've never really admitted this. So I'm going to admit it now to you anyway. But
Go for it.
I kind of like from 2016, I never released any music because I was too like embarrassed, like if it wouldn't be good or people wouldn't like it.
You can't.
And I was like, and I did that up till now.
Yeah,
And now I'm getting older and my years are getting shorter. I'm like, fuck it, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, and after this, it's kind of helped me out a lot. And it's,
the thing is, obviously after this now, I'll be for Final Boss. I'm just gonna put stuff out that is like stuff that I've never done before, you know,
yeah,
because that wasn't nothing that I've done before. The sound wise, you know, it's just supposed to be catchy, and I'm hoping that it can kind of gravitate to like the children, like and let them enjoy it as well.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
get them into some house music. Like I want to that was it's just supposed to be fun for everyone, but I'm just gonna have a lot more fun now with music and not take it too serious, because you just never know what track is sitting in your laptop or your computer that is the one that someone's gonna really like and got the right ears to.
Yeah.
You might have something right now sitting there, you know. You'd never know.
I've got a couple, yeah. And you know, it's true, like you say, though, because I've always been watching you do your doom scrolling on Instagram and that. And I like see these like big DJs and stuff like that. I mean, like them, you know, the mega big ones. And they're like, oh, I released this track. I freaking hated it. I made it in like an hour,
Yeah.
but it's the biggest track, you
Yeah.
know?
It's
And
always
that's,
the case.
yeah. Yeah.
It's always the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
People can hear too refined stuff. They can hear it. If it's
Yeah.
too like that, it's like pop music. You don't wanna have it too refined. People wanna hear you, you know. If you
Yeah.
even if something clips, even if something's a bit too much bass or too little bass, like they can hear that, but they can enjoy it at the same time.
Yeah, yeah,
Just human. It's a human error that they can hear, but they love it.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man. Well, Carnao, mate, I appreciate your time. I've loved having you on, and I hope I've done a good job interviewing you.
I really, really, you done
Yeah.
really well, man. But
And
thanks for having me anyway.
yeah, honestly, I'm glad I got you on because you know I think you've given off like a lot of good tips for not just only me, but for a lot of other people that you know struggle with like imposter syndrome and struggle with like you know just confidence in their own sound. And it's I think it's been a bit of a
It's a daunting industry, but don't let it do it to you.
yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah.
just stay positive, and anything can happen to anyone. It don't matter, and it can happen when you least expect it. Like I said, I've been in the music game for 20 years, and it's you know
Yeah.
getting good. So
And the thing is as well, I will, you know, like we mentioned with people, like you know, blaming the industry, like the fact that Jack's got where he is, and like say how successful you've been, and other people that I know, like my baby Rocker, I don't get jealous. I'm like, good for you, man. Like fucking fair play. I just need to sort my own shit out.
get your music out there. Get
Yeah,
your
exactly.
music
You
out.
know, so
Send me
you
them
know,
if you want me to listen to a few bits and that, and even stuff that you're, I'm open to. I'm open to hear stuff. It don't matter. I just want to hear you. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. No, I appreciate it, man.
I just
That's
want to
really
hear
nice.
what you're doing, and what your sound is.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's really nice here. Thank you.
No
That's cool,
worries.
man. Yeah, mate. All the best.
We could take care. Yeah.